In this video, I'm going to be discussing with you how to maximize your efforts to prepare yourself for Army basic training amid the coronavirus pandemic. You may want to share this video if you or someone else you know is shipping out to basic training between now through the summer of 2020. One of the main topics I will be discussing in this video is negatively impacting soldiers across the nation. And COVID-19, unfortunately, is coming in here like Miley Cyrus's wrecking ball. And we can't control everything, but in this video, I'm gonna give you some considerations and things to do to prepare yourself both mentally and physically for Army basic training in the meantime, especially if your training ship date is pushed off to a later date. There are pros and cons to everything. So let's get to the bottom of this, and it starts right now. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team SWARTZ, and if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. Here on this channel, I post a ton of Army basic training tips, recruiting, and other Army related videos. So if that's what you're here for, consider subscribing to this channel and hitting that bell icon so that you don't miss anything. Not only will you be notified when I post a new video, but you will be notified when I go live, usually weekly on Wednesdays between 6 and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hi, I'm Sergeant First Class SWARTZ, your New York Army National Guard recruiter, now conveniently moved to a virtual recruiter. I am no longer confined to New York City. I can recruit for all of New York State. So if you're in New York and you want to sit down with yours truly to figure out how we can help you become our next citizen soldier, feel free to shoot me a text, get started to this number right here, and we'll get you ready. So without further ado, I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to Hector Perez for providing me this topic idea. Thank you so much, buddy. This one's for you. First and foremost, let's talk about getting your mind right. Expect the unexpected, hope for the best, plan for the worst, and just know that we are in uncertain times with COVID-19 at the moment. There are pros and cons to whether you ship out sooner or later for Army basic training. In my opinion, if you ship out now, between now through probably the summer of 2020, you may be getting robbed of your total soldier basic training experience if you ship out now through the end of the summer. If you are fortunate enough or unfortunate enough to get your ship date pushed back and rescheduled to a later date, probably after September, you are probably setting yourself up for success for having a full-blown basic training experience. If you don't already know, if you ship out now through summer, you are robbing yourself of the Army combatives, the gas chamber, cadence calling between marching and running, certain obstacle courses. You know, due to social distancing, CDC guidelines and policies that are put in place now, basic training is being revamped, and a lot of things are getting cut from your curriculum to get through Army basic training, thus robbing you of your total experience. Hopefully, regardless of your situation, I hope that you are in a good financial position, especially in the event that your ship date is canceled and pushed to a later date. In my opinion, that is a pro, but if you're not in a financial good situation, that could be a con for you. So it may be in your best interest to get shipped out earlier rather than later so that you could, at least get some pay. What I'm going to share with you, which leads up to the main point that I want to impress upon you, is not to quit your job. This is happening across the country. It's impacting more of the active duty soldiers, in my opinion, because I'm receiving a lot of direct messages on Instagram of soldiers who quit their job thinking that they were going to go straight into basic training, or they were told to do a 14-day self-quarantine leading up to their ship date, and they already quit their jobs thinking that they were going to be shipping, and then ultimately canceled last minute, and now they're out of a job. And that also puts a problem in their hands, because now that they quit their job by choice, they are not going to be afforded the opportunity to go on unemployment because they were not fired. They were not let go. So that, in my opinion, is a con. So do not, under any circumstances, I don't care if you're Guard, Reserve, or active duty, do not quit your job. By the guidelines that were put out, we're supposed to be telling our soldiers who are shipping out to do a self-quarantine for 14 days leading up to their ship date. If doing so, and your ship date's canceled, do not quit your job. Like I said, what I suggest to you, if you have a job and you're getting paid, or even if you're not getting paid because you're not working, but you still have a job, do not quit your job. Have your recruiter type up an official memorandum for record, basically a letter stating that this is your ship date, you are mandated by the United States Army to self-quarantine for 14 days leading to your ship date. And ultimately, if your ship date is canceled, you are to resume back to your civilian employment. That way you don't shoot yourself in the foot, and that way you're not risking losing your unemployment benefits. Or worst case scenario, lose your job. The Army, from my understanding, big Army for like active Army and maybe select Army reservists, have the ability to be able to apply for financial assistance. You have to go through your active Army or Army Reserve recruiter to put in an application for it, and it's not guaranteed that you're going to get the financial assistance. It's more or less for those who are genuinely in a financial hardship, meaning that they have a family or spouse or something like that to support, not just themselves. But again, you know, it's not guaranteed. So request it through your recruiter and see what happens. Army National Guard, not so much. However, I know our command in the New York Army National Guard is now proposing that we put soldiers who were canceled due to coronavirus and they're in a financial hardship, if they want to do like recruiting assistance, like hometown recruiting, to be placed on orders, I believe, through September of 2020. So that is something that they could possibly do if it gets approved, at least through September of 2020, leading up to their ship date. More to follow. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Plan to ship out on time, because as recruiters, oftentimes we're not finding out until literally like the night before that you're not shipping. So plan accordingly that you are shipping and that you are more than likely not shipping out, right? So you're planning for both scenarios. Plan to actually go and plan to actually stay and get rescheduled to a later date. Do not shoot yourself in the foot by quitting your job like I previously stated. I get it. It's frustrating for both the recruiter and even more frustrating for the soldier who's waiting to go to basic training. If you were planning going from the couch straight to Army basic training with little to no physical fitness training, that is the wrong answer. In the event that your ship date is canceled, that is a great and phenomenal opportunity to better your physical fitness level prior to getting to basic training. You're probably going to have more than 2-3 months to prepare yourself if your ship date is canceled and has to get rescheduled to a later date. Let's face it, you're going to be doing a ton of corrective training, i.e. push-ups, squats, sit-ups, you name it, throughout the day and throughout the week of Army basic training, to include 2 to 3 days of bodyweight exercises, calisthenics, throughout the week through organized PT. So you're going to be doing a lot of strength training. What you're not going to be doing a lot of, maybe 2 or 3 days a week, is running. So I suggest at minimum you should be running 3 times per week and maybe incorporate a ruck march at least once a week. A ruck march in the Army is essentially hiking, and I suggest not carrying any more than 20-25 pounds, because if you don't have a hiking backpack or a military issue or military-ish rucksack where it's designed and molded or shaped in the form of your back to evenly distribute the weight, when you put a lot of weight on a book bag or something like that, it's going to cut into your traps and your shoulders, and over time it's going to get very, very painful. So you're going to do short distances to begin with. When you do the rucks, 1 day a week, like I said, starting at 3 miles. After 2 weeks at 3 miles, at like I said, a comfortable pace, shooting for like 15, no more than 20-minute pace per mile, you're going to increase it every week by a quarter of a mile or a half a mile, depending on your physical fitness level and comfort level. But if it's a real struggle for you, then don't increase the distance. And again, as you get better at it and stronger, then you can increase it by a quarter of a mile, preferably, or if you're feeling really good, a half a mile, but no more than a half mile increments every week. Let's talk about running. First and foremost, if you're not running and you're not a runner and you're not working out, I suggest that you do 2 to 4 weeks of fun runs. Every other day, you're going to go out for a 2 to 4 mile run at a comfortable pace. Don't worry about how fast you're running. Don't worry about your pace or the distance for the most part, but a minimum of 2 miles, shooting for 4 miles, whatever you think that you could do. But remember, you have to push yourself slightly above your comfort zone, okay? So throw on some music, have some fun, and if you have to stop and walk no more than 30 seconds. It's not a coffee break, people. Just take a couple of deep breaths once or twice and get right back on it. Once 2 to 4 weeks goes by of doing fun runs and you're getting acclimated and you feel more comfortable with it, then you're gonna wanna mix it up. You're gonna do 3 different workouts every week until you ship out to basic training. One day, you're gonna run like your Army Combat Fitness test, where you're running 2 miles in the shortest time possible. Self-explanatory. left, 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 all the way to the end. Fast as you can. Your second day of running is your fun run, doing 3 to 4 miles at a comfortable pace, slightly above your comfort level because you still need to push yourself. But if you need or feel the need to take a rest, just like I said before, take a couple of deep breaths and get right back into it. Your third day of running is wind sprints, okay? Which in the Army we call 30-60s. So I suggest that you do at least a mile to warm up your body, and then you're gonna find a hill no more than 35-degree angle, and you're gonna run up that hill 1 to 2 times as a warm up at a moderate speed, like 50 to a 70% max effort, just to warm up, because you wanna warm up those hamstrings. If you don't know about them, they hurt when you pull them, and they take a long time to heal. So once you warm up, you're gonna do 10 wind sprints at 30 seconds each at a 80 to 100% max effort, 10 times. Your rest is only 60 seconds, so once you get to the top and you're done sprinting, by the time 60 seconds get down, either you're walking or jogging down to the bottom to the starting line, you need to kick it off and do your next round. 30 seconds is what's going to decrease your overall run time for your PT test. So running 3 times a week and rucking 1 time per week as an active rest day is going to significantly help your cardio. When you're rucking, it's more or less like a full body exercise because you got some weight working on your core, right? And your upper body and your core, like I said, and obviously your legs. And it's cardiovascular exercise, so you're breathing heavy, you're huffing and puffing because you are humping, you are going. If you stay consistent over time, you will see that if you're tracking yourself, right? Because you can download running apps like Nike, Runkeeper is what I use, MyFitnessPal, anything that tracks your running, your overall run time and ruck time per mile will decrease. And that's because you're getting stronger and healthier and fitter and faster. I also suggest that in addition to the running program, if you can, at minimum, do body weight exercises, calisthenics. You can research all kinds of different HIIT workout programs on YouTube, whatever, but if you want a workout program from me, it does incorporate, it's a 6-day workout program that runs for 3 months in 3 different phases. Each workout is designed to be about 30 minutes long if you're in shape, and if you're out of shape, 60 minutes worst case scenario. And that's not including the warm up or the cool down or your running routine. But what's good about it is it's a good overall workout program because 3 days is traditional weightlifting and 3 days is your body weight circuit. But if you don't have access to a gym or free weights, nix that and only do the body weight exercises and then do your running routine on the opposite day. That way you're doing something every single day. Just hit me up, a direct message on Instagram at Team SWARTZ and shoot me an email address and I will send it to you within 48 to 72 hours. Do note that until further notice, the ACFT is canceled. I'm not sure if they're doing the old APFT, but for now the PT test has been canceled, although we are doing a modified PT routine. Just understand that the ACFT is suspended until further notice. You should definitely be learning the basics prior to leaving to Army basic training. I know in the National Guard, during Red Phase, during the Recruit Sustainment Program, we stress that you should be memorizing and learning all these things like the rank structure, the military time, the phonetic alphabet, the soldier's creed, the warrior ethos, the Army song, the 3 general orders, the 7 Army values. All these things will be quizzed and tested on the first day that you get to Army basic training. Basic training is going to be tough. It's going to be a huge challenge, and it's designed to be a challenge. It's going to be controlled chaos. Things are going to be going crazy. You're going to be losing your mind. And the more you prepare yourself prior to leaving to basic training, the easier it will be. So if you memorize these things prior to getting there, you don't have to stress about everything that's going on in the moment. And then they're going to be like, well, here's all this information. Start memorizing because we're going to start testing you. And next thing you know, you're on the chow line at your next meal, and they're already like, what's your 3rd general order there, Pry? Right? So memorize these things prior to going and make it easier. Put in the effort now so that you can reap the rewards later on. And you might secretly, because the drill sergeant's not going to tell you this, but you will impress your drill sergeant in the beginning if you know some of these things. The last 2 things I will discuss in this video are the Stripes for Skills program and the Stripes for Buddies program. Stripes for Skills program is essentially that you have to pass the Army Physical Fitness Test and the additional skill sets that you would either learn in the Recruit Sustainment Program if you're in the Army National Guard or the Future Soldier Program if you are in the Army Reserve or Active Army. I will post down in the description area below a Google Drive link of the study guide for the Stripes for Skills program. The Stripes for Skills program can only be utilized to advance you in rank from E1 to E2. The Stripes for Buddies program can be combined with Stripes for Skills or as a standalone program where you could advance from rank from E1 to E2 and then E2 to E3. Or like I said, if you don't have college credits, or you could include that as well. Let's say you came in at 24 college credits. So let's say, for example, you did the Stripes for Skills program and you passed the test and you got advanced to E2. One referral will get you to E3. But if you did not do the Stripes for Skills program, or you did not have 24 or more college credits at the time of enlistment, one referral will get you advanced to like the rank of E2, like I said, and the second referral will get you to the rank of E3. It is really, really important for you as a warrior going to basic training because it's going to increase your overall monetary gains through your paycheck. So what that means is, there's a huge difference between drill pay and your active duty pay. When you're drilling, you're working 2 days a month, and when you're in full-time active duty, there's over a $500 difference from E1 to E3, not even just E4, but from E1 to E3, a huge difference. I'll put it to you this way. Whether you do the Stripes for Skills program or the Stripes for Buddies program, this is what the difference is in your drill pay and your active duty pay while you're in training. And an E1 at drill, right, makes $231 after 4 months of time in service. If they get advanced to the rank of E2, their drill pay jumps up to $259, which is a $28 difference from E1 to E2. If they get up to E3 before leaving to basic training and they're drilling, they're going to get paid $307 per month as an E3, which is a total of a $76 difference from E1 to E3 in a drilling status prior to leaving to Army basic training. That drill pay is going to be the same when you get back as well, if you don't rank up, of course, but that's what your drill pay is. So in basic training, let's look at it that way. As an E1, you're probably going to have 4 months of service at minimum at basic training, so your base pay is going to be $1,733 per month. As an E2, if you can leave as an E2, your basic training full-time pay, it will jump up to $1,942, which is a $209 difference from E1 to E2. Now let's say you make it to E3 prior to leaving our basic training. So when you're in basic training full time and you get there as an E3, right, your base pay is going to jump up to $2,303, which is a total of $570 difference from E1 to E3. So it is in your best interest to either pass the Stripes for Skills program and or refer people into your component of the Army to advance in rank prior to leaving. I think it's worth $570. Wouldn't you agree? If you do so, comment down below, #boss. Those are the only 2 ways outside of having college credits at time of enlistment that you could advance in rank prior to leaving for Army basic training. By law, the highest rank that you could be is a specialist, which requires a 4-year degree. So the highest rank you'll get without a 4-year degree is private first class. So those are the only 2 ways that you could do it. Just do it. So these are some of the things that you could be doing to prepare yourself for Army basic training and to put yourself in a better financial situation on drill weekends and your basic training pay. We can't control everything, but we can certainly impact the things that we do have control of, right? Do me a favor, if you made it this far in the video, put a #TeamSWARTZ down below to show me that you are my real ride or die MVP. With that being said, like, share, and subscribe to this video if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Video's over. Sorry, but you can definitely watch more. You can check out this video here, or maybe you can check out this video here. But you know what? Actually, this video is pretty good. You should definitely watch this one. But actually, this one seems pretty great. You should definitely check out this video. But actually, why don't you watch them both? Try clicking them both.